never want any of your family or friends to go through that.
The cost of inexperienced driving. This summer, 18-year-old Thomas Semmons was coming home from his friend's house when he came off the road near Dereham and crashed into some trees. 4 months on, he's telling students at City College Norwich what happened that night.
I came around a bend, one I've driven so many times, knew it like the back of my hand. It was wet, it was sticky, damp, and I was probably going a bit too fast for the conditions. I wasn't speeding, but still too fast for the conditions, and the back of my car came out, and then I tried to correct the swerve and it went the opposite way, and I flew off the road and hit a tree 2 metres in the air, and then slammed into the ground and bounced around a few more trees before coming to a stop, and once I stopped, another tree fell on top of the car.
This is what's left of his car. After emergency services spent 2 hours cutting him out, he then spent 10 days recovering from serious injuries.
I broke my shoulder blade in 4 places, I suffered a triple break in my cheekbone, I dislocated my collarbone, broke my acromion, I punctured my lung and that collapsed. Obviously with the facial wounds, I had 26 stitches in that side of my face and 1 in there, so I got quite a few.
It's not just Thomas that felt the after effects of the crash, it affected his entire family.
He was on the ward, lying there very forlorn, face covered in sort of blood and injuries and things like that, and very vulnerable. And you think, yeah, that's my boy, what can I do about that? You know, and it's, as a parent, you just, it's very hard to handle because he's lying there helpless. You realise that he is not too well at all.
Thomas wasn't speeding, hadn't been drinking, wasn't on his phone and was wearing a seatbelt. It was a simple miscalculation on a bend in wet conditions, an easy thing for an inexperienced driver. His story is now being shared across the county as part of Operation Impact, where pledge cards are being handed out to young people to reinforce the message. It's part of the Police and Crime Commissioner's ambition to bring down the number of deaths on our roads.
299 serious road accidents involving serious injury or death on our roads in Norfolk this year, identical to last year. But it's not right. First of all, we must get those numbers down, and to think that we're losing so many young lives, I'm just not prepared to tolerate that.
And that wasn't it. To drive the point home, teams from the fire service demonstrated cutting a car crash victim out of a car, supported by the ambulance service. A reminder of the night for Thomas that could have ended very differently.
When I broke one of my ribs, the first rib underneath it is one of the main arteries, and I missed that by about 2 millimetres. So, to all intents and purposes, I'm 2 millimetres from death. So, yeah, I feel very lucky and just grateful for everything I've got now.
Amy Blunt, Mustard TV, City College Norwich.